All right, welcome back to Onebar Lupagus Show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. We're going to talk about the five biggest questions moving forward after the J.J. McCarthy injury news.
Yeah.
We've had some time. It's been about 8.5 hours or so, probably about 8 hours since we've seen it. We've absorbed it. We got some questions.
It's a Tuesday. I wasn't going to drink, but I heard the news.
This
is like number million.
Number million. Speaking of million, hit that sub button. Let's get to 1 million subs. We're like 15 away from 12,000. Be that 12,000 subscriber.
Wouldn't that feel great?
We're going to be doing some giveaways. You got to be subscribers, so do it. Let's do this. First off, number one, biggest question obviously is the timetable. The timetable.
Yeah, will it be the one where they just kind of scraping out the tear and then patching them back up, or they have to reconstruct the whole knee? I mean, once basically your season's done, the other ones you're maybe back 4 to 6 weeks, roughly timeline. I'm not a doctor. I may look like one, but I'm not.
No, he does not.
That's the big news, and we won't know until he goes under the knife. So I think that's gonna be next week, from what I can hear and what I've gathered. But again, that is the big one.
Yeah, Ron Johnson put out a very good tweet. Basically, he talked to a doctor. If it's a little trimsky, it's going to be like the 6 week ish. If it's not, if it's a full blown, it's 9 months. We'll see. The way Kevin O'Connell was talking about it, basically saying they're going to be extremely careful. They're going to do exactly the right thing. They're going to leave it up to the doctors, which is what they should do.
Well, yeah.
So it has me leaning towards the fact that they're just going to go with the complete ass fix on this thing. If it's the latter, I will be very, very amazed. I'm fully prepared for the 9 month.
Well, the way the season's gone, yes, we're all prepared for the 9 month. But I'm still holding on to hope. I want JJ here this year, and I don't care if it's one leg. I want him here.
That's why you would be a horrible, horrible GM.
But a great doctor.
Horrible doctor. The next question is basically, what do we want them to do? Do we want him back?
I'll let you start. I started the last one.
Here's the thing: is if this is just to get him out there and get him some experience as a rookie, you're not thinking straight. That's stupid. Like if it really is just a tiny little tweak or whatever, and then you just need to trim a tiny little thing off or do whatever, great. But if you're just out there, if you're just too gung ho, you want to see McCarthy this year just to see him, get him some experience. He's 21. Do whatever you have to do what's right, and let him come back next year and do it. He's going to be the starter next year. He's not like he's fighting for a spot next year. So no, I don't care if I see him this year. I would have loved to, barring the injury, but it happened, and just shelf him. Do whatever you got to do.
Was that pre-written, that whole tirade there?
No, but it comes from the heart, because we're seeing a lot of tweets out there basically, oh, we got, whether he's got to get some experience. He needs this. The dude is a proven winner at Michigan. He really, Sam Darnold was going to start anyways. If he was going to come in, it was going to be after the fact. So just get your knee right. I'm looking for the next 15 years, not week 14 through.
Well, I'm not looking for this year, but I want to see him for next year. Like, I want him to come back healthy, get some snaps, get some experience, so he's ready next year, so we can actually come into his first year as a starter compete in that first year window with Justin Jefferson still in his prime. That's what I want. I don't care about this year. I'd love to see him out there. I want him to get experience. I mean, even if it's just standing there watching and learning and being in practice and taking those reps, I want him to get all. I hate that he's missing this week against the Browns. I hate that he's going to miss these last 2 preseason games. He's so, like, the way he's developed so quickly. I want him to just be ready to go 2025, and that's what I hate, and that's what really chaps my ass.
Well, and I think he will be ready. I think he was ready. If they were to have him be the starter this year, week 1, I think he was ready. He would have looked like a rookie. He would have some ups and downs, but he was ready. So I think he is ready.
He's going to be pushed a year. I think he's going to.
Fine. He's going to be 22.
He's going to have ups and downs. I know.
He's going to be 22.
I'm thinking in terms of the whole team. Like, I want us to have this window where we're competing for like 5-6 years for a Super Bowl.
The other side of that is they were very clear that Sam Darnold was going to be the starter. Granted, we don't know what was going to actually happen. Sam Darnold could have very well played the whole year anyways. So it is what it is. Like, just put him on the shelf. If he was 25, if he was Hendon Hooker-ish or whoever else was coming out this year, I'm just saying, like, if it would be a little more urgency. This dude's got nothing but time. Nothing but time. We've waited how many years for a damn good quarterback in a championship? Wait another
year.
year.
I just want him to have a little more seasoning as he goes in his year as a starter. Like I would love to see him play a few games, and maybe it might still happen. I just want him to have that experience.
I would love if you were to come back and even just be the backup and still not play, but just be out there, practice, be out there with the boys, not just shelved. Next question. Does this injury really affect whether or not the Vikings were going to win some games, be potential playoff team? Does this matter?
I don't think it matters much for 2024. Like, I mean, Sam Darnold was likely going to be the starter, and not even just a starter for week 1, starter probably to at least the bye week, if not beyond, depending on how the season goes. It's a tough start to the schedule. This team is definitely a team that I think the future is brighter than the present. So really the win-loss record 2024, I don't think this one really matters for 2024.
Nah, I mean the win-loss record I mean, JJ McCarthy would have brought that like it factor or the mysterious factor where all of a sudden he just comes out as a rookie and just balls out, which is definitely possible. But if we're being realistic, win-loss wise, probably doesn't matter whether it was him or Darnold out there.
He brings more light. He brings more attention. He made the season a hell of a lot more fun.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm just talking straight up win-losses.
Yeah, and win-losses, it's probably going to be a wash.
Probably a little bit of a wash, something that Lupagus needs front to back, always.
I scrubbed thoroughly.
That is not true. All right, next up, we got 2 more questions. Let us know in the comments what you're thinking. The Vikings add a quarterback. So as of now, they got Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, and old Jaron Hall. Should they add one? Do you think they will?
I think it's your turn to start in this one.
No, I don't think they add one. Maybe they're going to add one, but they're not adding one to like compete for the backup. Nick Mullins will be their backup moving forward. Jaron Hall, I still think ends up on the practice squad. And then, they'll add a body. It's not a body that's worth getting anything excited about.
Yeah, they'll add like an August body, like a Tanner Morgan, someone like that, Jordan Tomu, something really, really gross. And whoever they bring in, I'm sorry, I'm going to hate them because it's because of J.J. McCarthy's injury, and its negative aura is always going to surround them, and I will not like them, and I'll have very bad feelings towards them. Nothing against them personally. That's the way I'll feel. But yeah, they're probably gonna bring in somebody else. I would think so.
They'll bring in an arm for the rest of the preseason.
For preseason game 3, the 4th.
You'll probably, you know what? And good for this guy, whoever they bring in. You'll probably get quarter 3 and 4 of the last game. But they will bring in somebody.
Well, and before you go to the last question, let's take a little bit of a step back, because now like Nick Mullins is solidified as the backup now. I mean, if this is what we think it's going to be, what we're fearing that it might be, like that could have been a draft pick. I mean, maybe it was 2 years down the road, whatever. You could have maybe moved him for something if another team suffered an injury. Now that's completely off the table. Like you need Nick Mullins now.
We need Nick Mullins, something I'd never want to say ever again, but we do need him. The dude can sling it. He might not win you some games, but he can go out there,
put up some
for 400 yards and 3 interceptions. But yeah, it is what it is. Nick Mullins is our backup, and really there isn't anything else out there that would probably improve over that.
No.
Last question, and we're seeing this on Twitter. Everybody is, of course, coming out of the woodwork. Oh, Kirk Cousins never got hurt. We should have kept Kirk Cousins. This guy's injury prone. He's the next Sam Bradford. What do you say about everybody saying that we got a quarterback that is going to be damaged goods moving forward?
Say, shut the hell up.
That's all we got to say.
It's a fluky ass thing. He stood tall. We don't know when it even happened. And like, if anything, he was being a man. Like he took the hits. He wasn't shying away from them. It wasn't like he just like heard it running away. I would much be more upset if he scampered away from pressure from a hit and then like tore it just running on the turf. So no, he's not injury prone. It's a
if he had a background of being injured all the time, be one thing. This dude is not. Injuries
he's not Michael Penix.
It happens. It happens. So if you're pulling out the Kirk Cousins bit, like we should have just signed him. You've been waiting for anything to pull that out. If you think he's the next Sam Bradford, I mean, come on, let's go. We're better than that. Let's go.
And also, don't blame the turf. It wasn't a turf thing. Like it wasn't a non-contact. We're pretty sure it happened when he was getting hit.
And he still stayed out there.
He did.
Balls. He's got balls. Those are our biggest questions for JJ McCarthy moving forward. Let us know in the comments how you're feeling. And you know what? Like we said, hopefully it's a short-term one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let it play out.
Hopefully this video has no relevance in a week. But
they never do.
Also, when you think when JJ McCarthy is recovery, remember this: Tetris was the first video game played in space.